Sziasztok, vagyok, és ez itt a Syberia harmadik része. Az előző részben megismerkedtem Oszkárral, aki mindent tud, tehát ő a mozdonyvezető is, a jegykezelő is, a jegyárusító is, ő minden. De hogy szerintem csak itt szívett minket, amúgy Oszkár jó fej, nem lehet nem szeretni. És akkor közösen így elindultunk, hogy felkeressük Hans Wahlberget, úgyhogy most Baroksteden kötöttünk ki, és akkor itt meg kell javítani egy kicsit így a vonatodon, hogy ki kell cserélni, úgyhogy nézzünk kis erre. És mondta Oszkár, hogy ő nem tud jönni, mert hogy neki túl páras a levegő, aztán berosdásodna. Jól néz ki. Úgy néz ki, hogy az egész mint egy nagy melegház. Nézzük el mondjuk erre. Most fel kell deríteni az egész területet. A nagy dzsungel. Hát te ki vagy, papó?
Hello.
You arrived by train, I see.
Yes, I've come from Valladolid.
It's been a long time since I've seen a train here. Students, did you bring students with you?
No, I traveled alone. Well, almost alone.
I remember around the start of fall, the train would bring kids from all around the world. Zoology, botany, painting, probably all that stuff. This was a great university.
And it isn't still great today, then?
Today?
Na, miről tudsz?
Have you been the station master of Barokstad for a long
Egy
time?
irgalmas...
I've never had another job. Now, you tell me, are you in charge of this train?
No, I mean, I'm not sure.
So what's your thing here? You come here to do some bookworming over at the university?
Well, sort of. I'm always looking for new information.
I mean, you don't seem to know a lot.
Nem látszik túl okosnak, olyan köszönöm, hogy hülyének neveztél.
In fact, I'm a lawyer and I'm conducting a pretty unusual investigation.
Investigation? Hey, you know, I'm just a station master. I don't know too much about anything.
Well, you never know. Anybody could be significant in this case.
See, nobody actually tells me anything, so my hands are totally clean.
I never implied they weren't.
Konkrétan saját magadat mártod be így ezzel.
You don't know where I might find equipment to wind up my train springs, do you?
Not in this station, that's for sure. And I would know. You might want to try near the wall. So, staying for long, yes?
No. I mean, I don't know actually. 1 or 2 days tops. You see, I've got to wind my train back up so that I can continue my journey.
It's just, if you stay here too long, I might get in trouble. The train should stop, then leave again. That's the rule. Besides, your machine's disturbing the birds.
Zavarja,
Maybe you
mondom.
could take me up to this wall? If there were 2 of us, we could find what I need to wind up my train even quicker.
Miss, believe me, I gotta stick to the rules. You know, I have to man the station. I don't want to get in trouble with my superiors at the university. Let's stay.
Hát ha nem, akkor nem.
I feel like I've lost my way along here. I could really do with your help.
Hey, anything I can do, miss, you just let me know.
The name Hans Wahlberg doesn't mean anything to you by chance, does it?
Oh, do you really think I'd remember one little name from the thousands that passed through this station?
Hát akkor nem.
I'm sorry to junk up your station like this, but the spring mechanism on my train needs winding.
Well, spring operated locomotive. There's a bit.
Yeah, and an impractical thing, too.
Now, it's dreams to take it. But now, I'm over the hill. And someone has to take care of the birds, after all.
All these birds in a station. It's amazing.
This is no ordinary station, miss. Oh, no. These birds are part of the prestigious University of Barokstad ornithological collection. Over the years, this apiary has housed some of the most fantastic species from all over the world. And I have not exactly this little cloud responsibility. And that is no easy task.
I can well believe you.
And you know what's the hardest? The hardest thing is to keep interspecial harmony. And one day some explorer introduced a couple of cuckoos from the Amazon. Whoa!
Wasn't a good idea?
A nightmare. You know, cuckoos lay their eggs in the nests of other species, right? Now, what's more, they also push the host eggs out of the nest so that they receive all the mother's attention. Cursed cuckoos. Nightmare.
I see what you mean. That's one tricky bird. And there was nothing you could do to stop it?
The faculty declared the bird a protected species. If it wasn't for our mechanical eagle, we were sitting on a major ornithological catastrophe.
You have an automaton here?
A wonder of technology. It's an eagle that's mounted on rails in the air. It passes through, swoops down to collect parasite eggs. But that dang eagle's been out of order for several years. Impossible to collect the eggs myself.
Why not?
I can't climb up the anyway. Fell off it several months back and I still have a pain in my spine. Not to mention the vertigo I've been getting. I only have to look up in the air. Whoa.
You poor soul. That must be very hard.
Worst thing is, cuckoo eggs piling up in the nests. Soon they're wrecked and you didn't notice. There's trouble in store. Big trouble. Worried. Yep. Worried.
Hát köszönöm szépen Madártant. És átjöttem a hídon, de erre nem lehet menni. Vagy kell ide egy kulcs, szerkezet. Meg kell találnom akkor ezt a adatot felhúzó szerkezetet. Erről azt mondták, hogy a fal mellett. De cuki. Adni kell majd nekik valami kaját, hogy fel tudjak oda menni. A magót erre megyek. Ez a kijárat. Isten, ez a totyogás. Karas ki lehet menni még erre is?
No point. It's locked.
Akkor ez zárva van. Jó. És az?
No point.
Ez is zárva. Szóval akkor be vagyunk zárva az állomásra. Ki se tudunk innen menni. És ez? Azt látom, hogy kell hozzá egy kulcs. Viszont erre ki lehet jönni. Így van ott mellett. De romba van minden.
That thing looks like the winding machine I used in the Valladolid station. I've got to find a way of getting the train up here.
Hát. Valahogy majd fel tudjuk ide húzni.
Hey, Walker! Hey, Walker! Come over here, please! I have something to say to you!
Na, mit akarsz mondani? Azt hittem, megint átsétál ott az ajtón.
Yes, Oscar, what is it?
A message has arrived for you.
A message?
You have been summoned to see the rectors. They are the highest authority at the university. They want to talk to you.
Talk to me?
Yes, to the person responsible for the train.
So, I'm in charge now, sure, okay. But why would these gentlemen want to see me at all?
They do not say why, just that it's very important.
Itt a kapitány mellett van egy valami, fel tudok venni. Ez egy horgony? Horog? De ez egy simokó. És hogy itt visszajöttem, itt már szabad az út. Tehát mikor nyitották ki ezt? Gondolom azt triggerelte ezt, hogy kinyissák, hogy Oszkárral beszéltem erről a küldetésről. De kinyitotta ki? De csendes itt minden. Már az is nyitva van. Nézzünk erre mondjuk. Csak ezek mit tudnak mondani?
Hey there, on the boat.
Guten Tag, schöne Mademoiselle.
My husband say, hello young lady, you want to talk to us?
Az az akcentus, jó ég.
My name is Kate Walker, and I'm a lawyer. I'm in charge of this train. This situation is really very new to me.
Lawyer, good job, earn lot of money.
A lot?
Tuti
A lot,
írek.
I wouldn't go that far. But I can't really complain, I guess. But there's worse.
Lawyer always ask a lot of money.
Can we change the subject, please? I really don't want to go down this road. Are you from Barkstadt?
Yet,
So you're like me. Birds just
Ja,
passing
oroszok.
through. I'm stuck here because of my train.
Kleine Puske reisen mit uns, no?
What did he say?
train kaput, no luck for you.
Van ott kaput.
I have a little problem with my train. It's kind of broken. I've absolutely got to get it out of the station. Do you think you could tow it over to the wall with your barge?
Lock closed, barge blocked.
But if the locks were open, would it be okay to tow my train then?
Porke no? More money for that werk.
Da, it's possible. My husband say we help you if you give money.
Right. And how much do you want?
She wanted.
He want $150.
$150.
$150? I don't have that
Csak egy
much.
sima vontatás.
No money, no barge.
Let me offer you $75.
Nay, $125.
Out of the question. $100 and not a dime more.
Correct. You have barge for $100.
Great. Now, don't move. I'll be back as quick as possible with the money.
Jó, hát honnan szerzek ennyi pénzt?
I hope my train isn't too...
It's okay. Motormot, erste Klasse.
My husband say correct. Powerful motor.
I mean, we're not exactly very far from the winding machine, are we? It's dumb, isn't it? All this...
Put train in barge? Not possible.
Have you gone down to take a look around the station yet? It's amazing. You know, it's full of exotic birds.
Mee to my gear? Ja. Ja, met plezier.
We no leave boat. Husband is land sick.
Itt a földet.
I'll leave...
Dat?
Jó, hát akkor szerintem az egyetem lektoraitól kell majd pénzt kérnem, mert ki más tudna ennyi pénzt adni, és akkor csak erre fog tudni menni. Itt sincs semmit tudsz, amit felszedhetnék. Ó, de szép mamutok. Tigrisek. És az ott ki? Illetve itt ebbe a szerkezetbe tudnék. És mit csinálsz két? Ha?
This thing's jank.
Beragadt. Aha. Ugye kell lesz majd ez a sárga valami. Sárga kő. De akkor ezzel is kell lesz majd amit kezdenem. És te ki vagy ott? Még látni belőle volt.
Hello.
Hey, baby, you party? You sure looking mighty fine. Love those big round eyes.
Jaj,
Just who
de
do
jó.
you think you are?
Hey, spunky. I like that in a lady. Okay, I'm hooked. Come on, doll. I'll let you buy me that coffee.
I don't remember ever asking.
Hey, don't play hard to get. I know you like it big time.
Listen, kid. Go back home and play with your toy cars and forget you ever saw me.
Hogy kioldotta. Hogy egy emberre találkozok itt, az is egy
Hello.
ilyen.
Hey, baby.
Just
És akkor nem is mond más. Csak ezt, hogy meg akar hívni, hát. Azt nem lehetetlen vagy. Pervers disznó. De szép kis múzeum. Most merre? Akkor mondjuk ezzel majd.
excuse me. Sir, please, just a moment.
Yes, what is it? I'm not deaf, you know.
I am sorry to disturb you in your work, sir, but
This young mammothus primigenius is barely 40,000 years old. Fantastic, wouldn't you say, miss?
yes, probably.
What do you mean, probably?
Biztos.
I don't know.
Két mikiről
Don't know.
miket beszélsz?
Oh, you don't know, I see. What can I do for you, my dear child?
To tell you the truth, I don't know very much about mammoths, and I'm not here as a student. In fact, I'm a lawyer.
It's all right, nobody's perfect. All the same, the study of the Pleistocene period is fascinating.
I'm sure it is, but I'm sorry to say my current mission is totally monopolizing my...
Ah, that's what they all say. But anyway, let me present myself. I'm Cornelius Ponce, Emeritus Professor and Lecturer at the University of Barogstadt. I'm proud to say that I'm head of the Department of Paleozoology at our university.
Kate Walker. Pleased to meet you. It wasn't really my intention to stop off here, but I'll confess, this university is really very impressive.
Ah, indeed. There's such a tradition of learning here. So much knowledge, a real depth of culture, intelligence, and gray matter. I myself did my studies here and never left.
Actually, I'm here because I've been summoned by the rectors of the university.
Oh, I see. You must have made a mistake on your enrollment form.
Felvétellapja.
Oh, no. I haven't come here to study. I have an important matter of inheritance to attend to. I have to find the heir.
And you hope you will find him here?
I'm not altogether sure. But you see, my train broke down coming into Barogstadt Station.
In that case, my dear, you must come to one of my lectures. Here's a question for you. Do you know what the Proboscidean order is?
The Probo-Whatian?
You see. There are gaps in your knowledge that need refreshing.
Látod, Két, hülye vagy. Gyere be az órámra, halljád, hogy inkább vonatozol.
To tell you the truth, I'm looking for Mr. Hans Vorarlberg. He's the sole heir of a very unusual factory. My company is in charge of negotiations for the takeover of this factory. At last word, he was living in Syberia. So, as soon as my train is ready, I'll be continuing my journey eastwards.
Syberia. Ah, Syberia. But what was it you said again?
Said what?
You mentioned a name. The person you are looking for.
Vorarlberg. Hans Vorarlberg. Do you know him?
Hans Vorarlberg. How could I forget him? Such an extraordinary fellow. So inventive.
We shared a passion for mammoths, you know, and we bonded over this passion. Without it, I confess, I would have had little to do with an odd, ageless retard like Hans. At the time, we were both students. Well, sort of. Put it this way. Hans had special permission to attend paleontology lectures. You see, he didn't really have the necessary qualifications. In exchange, Hans did a few odd jobs around the university.
Your Hans Vorarlberg sounds uncannily like the one I'm looking for.
I'm not sure, my dear. Hans was above all questions of money and business. Just to imagine him running a factory, perish the thought.
Can you tell me a little bit more about him?
He was always a mystery to me. He never said very much, and never quite seemed to grasp what you said to him. He expressed himself instead through his incredible mechanical contraptions. His inventions, I admit, have been much appreciated by the university. The few times we really did talk, it was about his strange interest for mammoths and a doll. Some sort of doll that obsessed him.
A doll, you say?
Yes, he kept talking about it. One day he described it to me. A sort of children's toy. A miniature mammoth mounted by a mount. It appears he found it in a cave not far from his home. The event all sounds very dramatic. His account was slightly confused, but it awoke a great interest in me.
What do you mean?
To my knowledge, there was only one tribe who made figurines featuring a mount, and that tribe is the Yukols. They live in the farthest reaches of Syberia, and for them, the dolls constituted a sacred object, illustrating one of their central legends. How such a doll made the journey from the frozen Siberian north to a cave in the French Alps is a mystery to me. Even today, it is beyond my comprehension.
Have you considered that Hans Vorarlberg was maybe making it up? You said yourself he didn't seem to have all his mental facilities intact.
No, that's impossible. Hans couldn't invent a story like that. The doll is a sacred part of the Syberia legend. He described it to me in exact detail. Syberia itself is a chimera that paleontologists of the world are very fond of pursuing.
Akkor jó haverok voltak Hansszal, de mondok is észrevette, hogy Hans egy kicsit olyan fura ember, meg hogy hogyan került tényleg a jukulok, meg biztos majd találkozni fogok ezzel a jukulokkal, hogy így emlékszem.
Arriving in Barrackstadt is an amazing experience. Yes, in a kind of clockwork train with a spring mechanism.
You mean you drive a train? Young ladies of today.
Oh, no. I'm not the engineer. The train's engineer is actually an automaton. I am sorry, all this probably sounds very strange.
A clockwork train, driven by an automaton. I once knew a man long ago who could have invented such a train. It was he who designed the bandstand in the main square. To think that he was even capable of creating such a gadget. He was astounding, a true genius. But oddly, at the same time, he was also almost a child. It was as if his mental and physical evolution had definitively halted at the age of 10. Can you believe that?
Yes. I think I can believe that. At least I'm beginning to. My train stopped in a peculiar aviary. It's very odd. A lot of bird species seem to seek harbor there.
Ornithology is far from being my favorite subject, but I must concede that the station is the pride of the university. It was initially intended for teaching purposes, but then birds started arriving from all around the world. It seems that there are still rare species breeding there and flourishing.
Are there? Can you give me an example?
I have been told about a kind of bird with peculiar habits. Let's see now, the Amazon cuckoo, that's right. But, oh, I'm so foolish, I can't remember what was so special about it. Just that its behavior is very peculiar.
The Amazon? Where's the Amazon? What is the Amazon?
I'm sorry, my dear, but one cannot learn everything in a lifetime. Specialization is the key to real knowledge. Why don't you pay a visit to our library?
Thank you very much.
Na. Megkezdem a pénzről, hogy hát ha tud segíteni.
How do I say this? You see, I didn't think I'd need a lot of money when I set out. And it turns out I need money after all. It's a delicate matter, I know, but I was wondering if you could help me out.
My dear, it would be a pleasure, but you see, I barely have enough myself to cover my meager expenditure on what I'm paid by the university.
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend or...
However, if we look at the example of Hans, it is true that our university always rewards people who perform some service for it. This is our dear rector's jurisdiction, however.
Hát akkor mit csinálják? Feltakarítsam az egész állomást?
Sorry?
Jó, hát akkor ő nem tud segíteni benne. Ez nyitott?
No point.
Zárva. Most a két meg így végig sétál az összes emberen, hogy jó, van pénzed. Két a csóró. Akkor nézzünk el erre. Ez is zárva. Hú, de nagy könyvtár. Az igen. Natural non facit saltus. Kéne egy könyv. Plants and mushrooms. Ez meg ilyen növénytan. A gombákról. Biztos kellsz majd valahol. Vagy valakinek. És vannak olvasók a könyvtárban. Ilyen érdekes, hogy azt hittem, hogy csak...
Can I disturb you?
No,
You could be a little bit nicer.
keep quiet, in case you hadn't noticed.
Jó, hát... Akkor nem beszélgetünk. Mert nem is lehet, vele se. Nem odaadtalanok. Fel tudunk venni egy könyvet. És ez mi? És ezt kölcsön veszem, haver, ha nem baj. Ez még ilyen madártani. Ez volt az állomáson. Thread Amazon Kukó. Most felnézek erre fel. Isten, az a rohadt. Szerintem itt lesz a... Ez most ott aludt? Biztos itt szoktak lenni az előadások. Csak el tudok beszélni? Nem. Jó, elalszik ott magának.
No point.
Zárva. És én a könyvtár mellett errefelé is el lehet jönni. Ó, itt vannak a rektorok. Na akkor adjál pénzt.
Good day to you, gentlemen.
Tell me, young lady, to what do we owe this pleasure?
Please do be brief. We do not have very much time on our hands.
As rectors of this university, we have serious matters to attend to and our time is precious.
I have heard you wish to meet the owner of the train that is currently in your station. May I know the reason for your summons?
We are surprised that your train has not yet left, miss. The situation is most regrettable.
The rules do clearly state that trains are meant to come and go and not remain stationary at a platform.
Hát segítsetek
Train
akkor
should first
megjavítani.
stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
We agree then, dear colleagues, that what we're dealing with is deviant behavior.
This matter really is cause for concern.
It's a clockwork train, you see? So it needs winding up again. Unfortunately, there is no equipment in the station to do this.
A clockwork train? That's strange.
How very quaint. You mean it's some sort of mechanical toy?
You are causing a hindrance to us, miss.
I am very hopeful that I will find what I need along the wall.
The wall? Miss, that really is not a suitable place for you to go.
Especially for a young lady.
You see, miss, we freely admit that every day we praise the existence of that particular edifice. We owe the integrity of our dear university and the fine education it provides to the wall.
It protects us from harm and invasion from the unknown.
May God protect us from what is beyond those ramparts, miss. Please believe me.
I don't have any choice. I must continue my journey.
Such a decision is a correct one since it's in line with regulations.
Thus, your train will indeed be able to leave.
And consequently cease to obstruct our station.
Jó, hát akkor adjál pénzt.
I haven't introduced myself. My name is Kate Walker.
Walker, haven't we already had a Miss Walker? Ethnology Masters, September 1953, if my memory serves me correctly.
Perfectly well, my dear colleague. But if I may be so bold, it was a Mr. Walker and not a Miss. It was Bill Walker, sat the June '68 exams. The impudent fool turned up for the oral assessment in jeans, flouting strict internal regulations which explicitly state the required uniform for the occasion.
Ez lehet, hogy az apja, nem?
Pure incitement. It was scandalous. Sadly, we have seen worse since. Young people lack all respect of traditional values.
Tradition, young lady. One must always uphold tradition.
Lehet, hogy
You
pont
see,
az apja
I
volt.
didn't
amúgy.
actually intend to stop here, but the springs of my train gave up, you see?
No, not really.
You have arrived a little late in the term, Miss. Enrollment.
But as rectors of this university and therefore
You don't understand. I'm a lawyer from New York, or rather Valladolid more precisely. My client wants to buy out an old mechanical toy factory, but its heir isn't actually dead and is living somewhere in Syberia. I've got to get to him to sign the sales contract. You see?
Not really. This is a most peculiar tale.
A kerfuffle of the highest order.
We have an excellent law school, if you should ever change your mind.
Még mindig nem érdekel a szakotok, de kösz.
Can you possibly...
Miss, your insistence is almost verging on indecency.
We cannot constantly be at your disposal. We have many other requests to attend to.
If you don't mind, could you not disturb...
Does the name Hans Vorarlberg mean anything to you by chance?
Ah, one of the brightest, most idealistic intellects to have graced our university. Hans Vorarlberg. I remember speaking to him once. I was still a student at the time. He just stared at me, lost in thought for a while. He scarcely ever said a word. But how can one forget him?
Idealistic? I'll grant you that. But bright? Oh, don't go too far. He was completely incapable of passing any exams. All he ever did was to sit in on lessons, and not many of them either. Paleontology, mainly. He had an unhealthy passion for mammoths, which matched the state of his intellect perfectly. That is to say, prehistoric.
Prehistoric? How dare you? A little far-fetched, maybe. But he did have flashes of intellectual brilliance, comprehensible only to high-minded scholars who hold no score by appearances. My dear colleague, your hasty conclusions are somewhat cavalier.
My assessment is wholly accurate. The boy was a little odd. You must concur if my father, who was rector of the university at the time, had not shown great indulgence towards him. Hans Vorarlberg would have never attended this establishment.
What about the bandstand, then? Is that the work of a deranged mind? Even after all these years, you are still jealous of it.
My dear colleagues, I beseech you, let's show some decorum. We have a visitor. What do you want with Hans Vorarlberg, miss? Are you a member of his family?
No, not at all. I'm looking for him to clear up an inheritance matter. Is he still here?
What? Here? At the university? No, not at all. He left a long time ago. Yes, a very long time ago. The very year I was nominated to this position, in fact. Almost 50 years ago already.
The poor soul moved on once he learned all he needed to know about mammoths.
Ah, this establishment was never quite the same after his departure, it must be said.
You mean to say it was never as bad? All that oddball brought to this university was his misplaced fantasies.
Gentlemen, let's try to retain the calm and level-headedness that befits our position.
Valaki szerette Hansot, valaki nem. Valakinek tetszett, hogy ilyen fura, meg intelligens, valaki meg nem. Hát, nem baj.
Excuse me.
Miss, we find ourselves terrible.
Indeed, the situation...
A train should first stop, then
That idea of the station aviary is
It's the pride of our university. One of the specialties taught here is zoology.
It can... Absolutely. His gift produced...
A poison chalice, indeed. It must be said that...
Oh, yes, it could have...
You wouldn't know if there is any Forest Sauvignon here in Barakstadt, would you?
Absolutely.
When he says absolutely, he means, of course, absolutely none.
What we mean, of course, is that we are absolutely positive there is no Forest Sauvignon here in Barakstadt.
Really? Are you sure? Because I read in a book that Barakstadt possesses a number of plants. I wouldn't mind getting a hold of some if possible.
Out of the question, miss.
The assistant rector means to say that our priority is for you to remove your train from our station. Your research will have to wait until your next stop.
Yes, that's right. Your train must leave the station immediately, so please refrain from wasting our time in needless visitations.
Don't forget the regulations, miss. Don't forget them. Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. And quickly.
Hát akkor adjál rá
Some
pénzt.
sailors have agreed to tow the train, but I don't have enough money to pay them. I was wondering if you could help me out. For a while. I could work for the money.
Összesugdolóznak.
Please wait, miss. We have certain confibulations to attend to.
That is right. We must confibulate between ourselves. A collegiate decision must be taken.
I hope that we are not indisposing you in any way.
Why not?
If it helps us get rid of that train.
My word, that is a fine idea.
What do you have in mind, gentlemen?
When you arrived here, you must have noticed a splendid bandstand which honors the main university courtyard.
A unique piece of mechanical craftsmanship which no longer works, alas.
Why, yes, we have very moving memories of its melodies. We're prepared to offer you a financial reward if you can set it working again.
With pleasure. What do I have to do?
Unfortunately, my dear, time and rust have taken their toll on this university, and our automatons no longer have a spring in their step. You are going to have to be resourceful.
To tell you the truth, there are a number of complex mechanisms here in Barakstadt, and it would appear that we have unfortunately lost their operating instructions.
Your train, however, is an extremely ingenious invention, so you should be no stranger to complex mechanisms, should you? We are therefore counting on your ingenuity, miss.
I hope that I can show myself worthy of your faith in me, gentlemen.
Well, my dear colleagues, one more university matter nicely tied up.
Jó, tehát működésbe kell hozni ezt a zenepolványt, és akkor azután adnak
Here we
pénzt.
are already?
Thank you.
And Hello?
Na, hogy kijöttem, már hívtak is.
Ah, it's you, Mr. Marson. Good day, and how are you, sir?
I'll feel a whole lot better when this whole business is over and the sales contract is signed. Where the hell are you?
I'm in Barkstadt.
What? What in God's name are you doing there?
It's a magnificent university town. It would appear Hans Vorarlberg once passed by here several years ago.
So if he isn't there anymore, then there's no point hanging around.
I hear what you're saying, sir, but I have good reason to believe that Hans Vorarlberg is still alive. For the time being, I'm trying to gather extra information from people who have known him.
What's your next destination?
I'm not exactly sure yet.
Doesn't sound like you know too much, Kate.
I just need a bit of time, Mr. Morrison.
Yeah, well, time is what you ain't got. Keep me posted.
Jó, hát nem olyan könnyű eljutni Szibériára. Kérdezem az állomásfőnököt is erre a Sauvignonról. Szerintem ezt kell a madaraknak, hogy el tudjam onnan kergetni őket.
Where might I find some forest Sauvignon plants, please?
No place around here, that's for sure. I don't know what you're talking about. That stuff's from the Amazon.
You know, for someone who knows nothing about the plant, you seem pretty well informed about which mysterious faraway country it comes from.
Az állomásfőnök nagyon titkolózós.
Amazon, Peru, Papua New Guinea, it's all the same to me. Gotta go. Gotta work.
Wait,
Az a mozgás.
You know what? I don't think he was being totally straight with me.
Hát, ez itt hagyott minket. de az a mozgás... Kemény srác. Itt vagy újból? Olyan sürgős dolgot akarsz?
But I need you.
Can't you see I am very, very busy?
Hát,
No.
nem.
Well, I am. Very busy indeed. But, okay. I think I can give you a minute of my time.
Nagyon elfoglalt. Mi az, hogy menekülni előlem? Vagy ki tudjam fogadni?
All these birds and I see what you mean. That's one tricky bird.
The faculty declared the bird up.
What? I won't.
Csak ezt akartam kérdezni. Ezt a
I'm
Sauvignon?
looking for a kind of little juicy berry.
Look, lady, the station doesn't have any Sauvignon berry. Not even...
Funny you should mention it. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Sauvignon, raspberry, red currants, they're all the same to me. And we don't grow none of them here.
But you see, I have just read a very interesting book which says that the rare Sauvignon berry is actually cultivated here, in the famous Barkstadt University aviary itself.
If it's in a book, then don't believe everything you read, miss.
I don't know why, but I don't think you're telling me the truth.
What do you mean? I don't know. How should I know where to find your stupid grade? Go ask your professor, what's his name, Pons, the paleontologist.
But you're the master of this station, so you should know better than anyone.
Nobody tells me anything. I don't know. Go see the old guy with the fossils.
The sailors on the barge reckon they could help me tow my train out.
Miss, really? I'm surprised at you.
Right. I need cash. I need it to get my train out of your station.
Look, lady, I'm only a station master. I got my problems, and you got...
Nem nagy barátságos az a Pali, hogy nem tudok semmit, kérdezem a professzort, ő jobban tudja. Nem az lenne a munkád, hogy tudja mindenről, ami itt az állomáson történik? Hát mi a főnök vagy te? Amúgy közben a mamutbobát elvettem a vonatról, fel lehetett venni, gondoltam, hát ha kell lesz, de lehet, hogy a professzornak kell bemutatni, hogyha ma úgyis említette a babát.
Professor, sorry. Professor, I have brought you something that should be of interest to you.
What have you got there, then? Let's see. An effigy of a mammoth. But this is Hans' doll, is it not? Yes, of course it is. How on earth did you... Oh my God, it's in my hands. It exists. It really exists. Please do excuse me. I'm deeply moved.
You see, your Hans and my Vorarlberg heir are one and the same.
This is incredible. After all these years, how can I ever thank you, my dear? Oh, I must waste no time. I'm off to my laboratory. I must study this.
Persze odaadom, de aztán ugye csak vissza. Adom azért oda neki.
Actually,
Don't worry, miss. I will take the greatest care of it. But I need to study it. You see, it has such importance to me that this very afternoon I shall deliver an impromptu lecture to my students about this very object. If you are interested in Hans Vorarlberg, then it is essential that you attend.
do you think so?
Obviously. Give me your telephone number and I will call you the moment my lecture begins. I will return you your doll at the end. You have my word.
Mi a baj is teszed? Most elmegy kinyitni a labort? Nézzünk be akkor ide. Mit találtam itt? Szekrényben van valami? Oh! Ez egy olyan zenei henger, lehet, hogy ez... Esetre majd lehet, hogy a zenedobozba kell rakni, vagy abba, ami ott van középen, az a zenelejátszó, vagy meglátom. És itt mi van? Ez mi? Jangol a kolapor. És egy lombig tartó. Egy kis kémia.
You wouldn't know where the Forest Sauvignon plants are kept in Barragstadt, would you?
Why do you...
I read about it in a book.
Try going to see the station master. If such a shrub exists, he will have a...
De ő nem hajlandó elmondani.
It's actually he who sent me to you. I thought it a little strange, but he definitely said ask the
Yes, indeed. What a strange way to behave. Well, I think he must have made a mistake. That's all.
All right.
Hát akkor az egyet... Akkor rektorokat kell megkérdezni. Én bírom, hogy ezt kérdezz meg aztán. Hát itt is érezni ezt a pikke feelinget.
Gentlemen, forgive me for
A little problem, a little...
They are kept to oneself, and they don't...
Nor trains from...
Are you sure there are no Amazon Sauvignon plants in Barragstadt? Because I have just interviewed the station master and the paleontologist, and what they said really didn't convince me that there wasn't any here.
We are quite definite on this point. There are no Sauvignon plants growing in Barragstadt.
You see, miss, the Amazon Forest Sauvignon is a rare shrub that requires very special conditions for growth.
That's right. Conditions that are very hard to reproduce, believe you me.
Difficult, but not impossible. Fortunately, our garden has proved very successful.
Your garden? So, there is a garden in Barragstadt?
Oh, the garden. Well, if there was one, it would be only a little garden hidden behind the station. But our station master would be very proud of it.
He would take very good care of it, too. Everything would grow marvelously if we were able to cultivate it at all, and it would be all down to his gardening prowess.
And we would be proud as punch. And we wouldn't forget the role the paleontologist might play in this.
What's the paleontologist got to do with it all?
Without him and without his laboratory, how would we make the wine, do you think?
And it would be good wine indeed, my dear colleagues, would it not?
Oh, yes, a delightful balm to soothe away our long hours of toil and our heavy responsibilities.
We would wait impatiently every year for the arrival of the year's produce.
So, if I have understood you correctly, there are indeed Sauvignon plants in Barragstadt. They are cultivated in a garden behind the station, then turned into wine by the paleontologist's loving care. And finally, the pleasure of tasting is yours. If I'm not very much mistaken, gentlemen, you have a minor racket operating here.
Tudtam, hogy van valami háttérben.
You do go jumping to some hasty conclusions.
We never said that. That's not...
Az előbb mondtátok, ne tagadjátok már.
We were talking in the conditional. You know, with ifs and woulds.
So, What would happen if I had such a hunch?
You would have to keep it to yourself, of course.
Yes, if you would be so kind as to keep it a secret. It would only be a small local concern producing barely a few bottles every year.
That's right. Nothing so grandiose as a business. Otherwise, we'd be liable to be fined. So, we can't count on your discretion, can we?
Don't worry, I have no intention at all of getting messed
Nem
up.
mondom el senkinek, csak adjatok pénzt. Remélem, hogy most már elmutatja azt a kertet és nem fog titkolózni, mert már felfedtem. Mégis mi áll a háttérben. Úgyhogy mutass csak meg szépen nekem azt a kertet, de Két, ne menjél már le. Na.
Hol van a bor? Mi nem élünk borral, testvérem.
Hol a bor?
Semmiféle...
Bort akarok!
Excuse me, station...
What?
You have been playing with me, haven't you? You knew very well there were forest Sauvignon berries in the station garden.
Not at all. I've never seen your Sauvignon thing.
You don't have to lie to me. I know all about it. You and the rectors are in cahoots, and the professor's lab has been turned into a distillery. You've all got a nice little smuggling racket on the side.
Smuggling racket? Hey, lady, you're going a bit far there. It's just a little on the side thing we got going. That's all. It's just for ourselves. Hey, honest.
You should be ashamed of yourselves. Aren't you worried about the reputation of this fine university? The authorities should be informed of this.
But we haven't done anything wrong. It's not a crime.
Can you open the gate to the garden, please?
Sure. No problemo. Right with it.
Ez a mozgás. Na, kösz szépen.
We are. Please feel free to visit the garden at your leisure. And there was...
Nem vagyok hozzuk, csak érdekesen fogalmazok. Az.
There is the reputation of the university to think about. I have superiors who do what I can.
I understand. Don't you worry.
Oh, thank you, miss.
Jó, minden köztünk marad. Csak adjál bort. Ez a mozgás halálos. De szép kis kertecske. És itt mit találtunk? Érdekes, hogy a fák így nem mozognak, csak úgy egy nagy textúra lenne az egész. És ez lenne a Sauvignon. Sauvignon szőlő. Más már itt nem is tudok, egyértelműen ezt kell a madaraknak odaadni. A könyvben is szerepel, hogy ezt szeretik. Úgyhogy... ezt nektek egyetek. A torkotokon ne akadjon. Togy. Van ott totyognak, és most már felmetek a létrára. Nem is eszik, csak ott állnak. Na azért. Hú, de magas. És itt van egy fészek. Azt, hogy nem érem el. Kolombik tartóval? Aha, és van egy piros tojás. És ezzel kéne valamit csinálni? Na, mit szeretném már?
Yes?
You know, I want to apologize for our little misunderstanding. I brought you a bottle of wine. Madarat Sauvignon. Very good year. Let me know what you think.
I'm very touched. Thank you.
Good luck on your journey, lady.
Thank you.
Hát, köszönöm szépen a bot. Ha jól sejtem, hogy ez a tojás kell lesz ebbe. Hiszen ott is egy ilyen tojás van. Ja. Ó. Azt talán meg is fog szólalni, de akkor nézzünk be. Igen. Csak ennyi, meg kell húzni ezt a kart. Hát mostantól nyugodtan zenélek. Úgyhogy most már mehetünk beajdani a pénzt.
Gentlemen, I have managed to repair your university bandstand.
The bandstand is playing again. This is marvelous news.
We are really very grateful indeed.
Ja, van.
Yes, very grateful indeed.
Time is money, friend,
Look back on your
szóval...
visit with much fondness in our hearts.
And now let us in turn honor our...
$100.
Na, azt mondta, hogy túl sok.
We agree to grant you the aforementioned sum, miss. You may...
Na. Csak úgy zsebből elő $200.
And while we're on the subject, when will you be...
Yes, because now you should relocate your train as quick.
Hát mi hamarabb
Here we are,
elindulok.
busy chat already.
Thank you for...
And thank you.
Jó, viszlát. Egy apróba adják oda azt a $100. Mi akkor, hogyha az mégse $100? Két nem kéne megszámolni? Vagy megbízol bennük? Na, nesze itt van a pénz.
There you go. Here's your money. I've checked it. It's all there.
Nem is számoltad meg?
Tartsd meg az aprót, te mocskos állat!
Ah, thank you. Not difficult get dollar, see? You are a real businesswoman.
I'm not the only one around here.
We pleased to do deal with you. Now, you open lock or we no help you.
Why didn't you manage to open them? After all, you don't have to be a genius.
Ma vorbat pensinos esto, di kleiner madam. Yo se sei mar alles non comprendo, en allora kaput, en andere mortel. Sil farma. On boom telefonieren, kaput.
My husband say instructions complicated. No understand manual. My husband angry. Very angry. Oh, now telephone broke. Kaput.
Now that is annoying. What are you gonna do next?
We wait repairman.
Well, I don't have the time to wait. I'll have to go have a look. There must be some way of releasing the opening mechanism.
Take key. Seller always need key for lock.
Na, már megint felhívott valaki.
Hello?
Ki az?
Hey, how's my...
Jaj, persze, hogy...
I was thinking about you only yesterday because I thought it fantastic fur coat. You are wrapping up warm, aren't you? I mean, people in foreign countries never know how to dress properly for the weather.
Mom, it's so sweet of you to worry, but I'm fine, really. The trip's a breeze, no worries. I mean, there's...
Well, when are you coming back? Frank is dying to meet you.
Frank? Oh, yeah, your singer. You two seen each other then?
Oh, you'll never guess the surprise he gave me yesterday.
No, I suppose I won't.
Frank invited me to a big charity show organized by, oh, well, someone or another. Anyway, they got him singing a couple of old numbers from his repertoire, and in the end, he asked me to go up on stage with him. Can you imagine me, your mother, on stage in front of thousands of people?
Wow, I would have loved to have been there. Not too emotional, I hope.
Oh, too emotional by far, especially as I hadn't even been to the hairdresser. Well, I didn't even have the proper dress on. But Frank promised me he'd see to that next time. Oh, he's such a cutie, and he's such a sweetest little.
I'm sure he has, Mom.
It would be so good if you could join us one day. Let's see, when is his next gala? I'm so forgetful these days. I swear I'd lose my head if it weren't in the clouds. You just watch out, my girl. Them years will pass over you much quicker than you think.
I'll look out for them, Mom. Nice to hear your voice. Lots of love.
Well, to you too, my little munchkin.
Jaj, tipikus anyák. Mindig a legjobbkor hívunk. Hogy aggódik Kate miatt, minden. Ó, elmesél az élettörténetét. Csak hogy legyen kivel beszélnie. Na és akkor hozzuk ezt működésbe szépen. Ide kell zárkulcs. Igen.
The instructions are written in a letter. The instruct.
És mit kéne ide begépelni? Hát utána néztem, hogy mit kell ide beírni. Nem tudom egyszerűen ez mi alapján van, de az kell, hogy 2 kereszt, 4, 2, csillag. De rá nem jöttem volna. Erre muszáj voltam utána nézni.
Right, I've got it. I know now how the locks work. So guide your boat into the lock, and I'll take care of the mechanism.
Godverdomme. Das ist eine echte Ladies. Alle zwei.
My
Große
God.
alle Dingen and obligados de Dame. Ach, se kommt und zurück again.
What did your husband say?
You, hurry up. We hurry to travel again.
Okay, okay. We'll meet each other on the other side. By my train, okay?
Na, és akkor most be kéne zárni mögötte, és újra tereszteni vízzel. És aztán ide kell jönni a pulthoz, meg nyomni, hogy 2 kereszt. 4, 1, és ez. Így be tudjuk zárni mögötte. Erre is utána kellett néznem, mert magadtam rá nem jöttem volna. Hát kéne valami.
Oh, schlechte Boot.
Excuse me, my husband said he liked his barge and he not like your trade.
Konzervdobozba utazna.
What do we do now to tie my
Mademoiselle tak. Loka coca bit.
What did your husband?
You attach chain to train.
Oh.
Ő ide megdobta. És akkor szerintem erre kell kampó. Aha. Meg gondoltam, hogy kell ez valami ez a kampó, amit ott találtunk a parton. Mert csak egy lánccal nem sokra megyünk. Ó, és egy be is akasztja. Jaj, de jó. És akkor majd fel kell tekerni azzal.
Hello, Kate Walker here.
Walker, this is Professor Pond. I'm about to start my lecture on the Yukon at any moment. Please make haste to come.
Okay, I'll give it my best.
Excellent. We'll be in the main lecture hall. See you soon.
És akkor most kell oda menni, hol a csávót aludt.
There you are, Miss Walker. Good, good. Take a seat quickly. I'm impatient to start my lesson.
Csávót ott nagyon érdekli, de hogy még mindig alszik.
A very exciting discovery, unimaginable up until only a few hours ago, has come into my hands and has finally allowed me to complete my study on the mysterious Yukon people. Lights, please. The Yukons are a people from the far north, about whom very little is known. They live far away, very far away, on the frozen borders of Siberia. This distance and the climatic conditions of the region, which are unfavorable to human existence, have limited the size of the Yukon population and kept it out of reach of the scientific world. The handful of slides that follow are actually the only documentation we have in our possession. It was a Russian explorer who made these drawings and took these photographs 100 or so years ago. Today, we owe what we know about the Yukon people and their culture to him. We know that the origins of the Yukons go back to the last ice age. Usually, evidence of their presence has been found in Western Europe, and more precisely in the prehistoric caves at the heart of the Alps. This people, it seems, undertook a long migration over centuries towards the far north of the globe. The reasons for this migration are due to the importance of the mammoth in their craft, trade, and culture. They used them for transportation and as beasts of burden. The mammoth brought them meat, skins, fat, and ivory. Man and animal lived in symbiosis. There's no doubt about it. Mammoths started to drift away from the region due to changing climatic conditions, and the Yukons followed them to the north, the edges of Siberia. Prehistoric cave drawings identified as Yukon in origin first led me to the extraordinary hypothesis that the Yukons had managed to domesticate the mammoth. They are, to the best of our knowledge, the only prehistoric people who represent a man riding a mammoth. Today, because of this genuine mammoth skin effigy identified by myself as an authentic neolithic object, I can confirm this hypothesis. Yukon forebears managed to tame mammoths. The historic man uses little imagination. He draws what he sees and represents scenes from real life. This familiar day-to-day object is actually a children's toy. See, Yukon existence was inextricably linked to that of the mammoth. They used its skin for clothing and to make the roofs and walls of their houses. They used the tusks to build the frameworks of their homes, as well as weapons, tools, and jewelry. Curiously, the disappearance of the mammoth 12,000 years ago had no immediate effect on the Yukon's way of life. It seemed that for a long time after, the people maintained their strong bond with the mammoth through the centuries. As incredible as it may seem, the Yukon people have continued right up until the start of this century to feed themselves on mammoth meat and to use the skin for clothing and shelter. The ivory craftwork industry is still flourishing. It would appear that to preserve ancestral customs, the Yukons learned how to exploit through the centuries the large number of frozen mammoth carcasses that were perfectly preserved in the ice of the Siberian tundra. They have been able to live mainly off this enormous freezer stock for almost 30 centuries. As plausible as this explanation may seem, it seems it is not enough for the scientific community who, I will confess, is greatly perplexed by the question. In the absence of acceptable scientific evidence, we have to make do with Yukon shaman artifacts. The research department that I have the honor to represent today lends no credence to the myths and legends that these tribal charlatans peddle. We have to take their stories at face value. Mere tales to while away the long Siberian winter. The legend of the Siberian ice ark is a very good example, and you are invited to find out for yourselves from the pamphlet that I have passed travel to. This legend would have us believe that today, somewhere on a lost island to the north of Syberia, there are living mammoths still in existence, a sort of hangover from the Ice Age. This small herd has been miraculously preserved for more than 120 centuries by the Yukos and UK. The island on which the pachyderms are said to live is called Syberia. My friends, I advise you to resist the temptation you may have to believe in this Christian kish. The island of Syberia is not charted on any map, and the idea that mammoths have survived to the 21st century is an idle scientist's pipe dream. The Yukos were sadly among the first victims of the colonization of continental Siberia led by the Russians in the 20th century. The Kolkhos and Sovkhos systems, as well as the exploitation, disdain, and humiliation they had to suffer, marked a definitive break in the Yukos' traditional lifestyle. And since the collapse of the communist regime, the Yuko population finds itself confronted with the same political and social upheavals that other Siberian communities are experiencing. There are two consequences to arise from this. Some Yukos have lost their tribal identity and have integrated into the Russian population. Others, however, have sought long and hard to re-establish links with their ancestral culture that was lost under the Soviet regime. Now, at the start of the 21st century, the last true surviving Yukos have gone to live on the vast territories of their ancestors. Nobody knows today where they live or how they survived. Their very existence would be a matter for speculation if they did not turn up periodically at the tundra's most isolated fur trading posts to exchange mammoth tusks for essential items. There ends my lecture for today. Thank you for being among us today, Miss Walker. Please make your way to the laboratory where you will find your mammoth doll. There are also photocopies of my lectures should you so require them.
Két meg így... Ja, végig az adásnak. Kicsit aludtam, se baj. Nagy érdekes kis történet így a jukolókról. Hát az meg ott nyugodtan elhúzik. És akkor ezek az iratok. Legend of Ivory Park.
The doll is waiting for you there, Miss Walker.
Don't worry. I'm beginning to get quite attached to it myself.
With pleasure, Kate. I'm all ears.
My train stopped in a... Are there? The Amazon? Thank you. I must congratulate you for your lecture. You were right. The subject is absolutely fascinating. I never believed that mammoths could be so interesting.
What you heard was only the tip of the iceberg, my dear. But if I have at least awoken a passion in you, I'm only too proud.
Did Hans Vorarlberg agree with your hypothesis on the Yukos being able to tame mammoths?
Now, Hans was no man of science. His pathological obsession was to find mammoths that were still in existence. Such a hypothesis is somewhat overblown, don't you think?
You don't believe in it yourself?
Mammoths died out thousands of years ago. Of this we are certain. Today, the only mammoths in Siberia are frozen ones.
Do you know where Hans might have gone after his stay here in Barrackstadt?
No, but I would not be surprised if he left in search of the Yukos, or what is left of them today.
What would you say about seeing Hans Vorarlberg again? After all, you could come with me and help me find him.
Young lady, you are very kind. I'm far too old for such escapades.
Jó, hát... Meg jó lett volna, ha ő is csatlakozik. Miért ne? Van helye a vonaton, és akkor most fel kell húzni a vonatot. Ugyanúgy. Húzzuk a tekerőt.
I don't need to do that again.
Nem kell tovább? Akkor nem. Csak kart. És fel is van húzva. Na, kikeres már megint.
Hello?
Where are you?
Hi, Dan.
No, Dan.
I'm in Barragstadt.
What? Is that a town? I hope the man you're looking for lives there. Are you coming home soon?
From what I gather, it's one huge university with an extraordinary station aviary. If you could only see it, there are trees and birds everywhere. It's so weird here.
Sounds like a great place for a bit of sightseeing. So, are you coming back soon?
I don't think so. In fact, the train I'm traveling on has some kind of a mechanical problem. We've been forced to stop here.
Us? I thought you were alone. Who's with you?
Oscar, the train engineer.
You're messing around with mechanics now, are you?
Don't be so stupid, Dan, please. Oscar is an automaton created by Mr. Varlberg, the man I'm looking for. And he's not any old robot. He's a sophisticated butler type, if you see what I mean. He's a bit obsessive as well.
Kate, I don't know what they're feeding you in Europe, but don't you think it's time that you came home?
But my mission still isn't finished.
To hell with your mission. I don't know why you accepted it in the first place. If you just stuck to the middle of the road, then we wouldn't be in this mess.
We? If there's any mess, it's me who's in it. And while I'm trying to come to grips with strange towns, you, my darling, are sitting at home on your butt. I seem to remember we had nothing against my departure.
Ennyi, jól megmondja.
2 or 3 days, Kate. Please, try to put yourself in my shoes.
Your shoes? Not only do I have to fit myself into your diary, but I've got to get myself into your shoes as well? Is there anywhere else Sir would like me to put myself while we're on this subject?
Look, I don't want to talk about it now. Call me back when you calm down.
I was perfectly calm before I picked up your call. I only wanted a few words of encouragement, not your disdain. Was that too much to ask?
You can be such a selfish...
Takes one to know one, sweetheart.
Hát az a Dan szinte csak magával tud törődni, hogy jó, mikor jössz már haza, unatkozzok, gyere már haza, mikor végzel? Utána az ilyen embereket lát, vissza is rakhatjuk ide. Hát nem hiszem, hogy több szükségünk lenne rá, csak kölcsöntöm a professzornak. És akkor nézzük már meg ezt a hengert. Barokstadi henger. Milyen zenét játszik le?
Hans, I have some very sad news. Our father is dead. He passed away peacefully last Sunday in his sleep. I feel so lonely now.
Father had been but a shadow of himself since your departure. I had to take care of everything for him. Housework, factory paperwork, the workforce, clients, everything. And now, today, well, I really don't know who or what I'm fighting for. Times are so hard, and this terrible war is destroying everything. Nobody cares for our automatons anymore. I just think about you returning. And when you do return, I will have turned this factory into a palace worthy of your genius. Please take care of yourself. I love you so much, Anna.
De aranyos, csak ezek a kis visszaemlékezések. És amúgy ezekből a hengerekből fogjuk főleg megtudni így a teljes történetet. Így Hans múltjával kapcsolatban. Megkérdezem Oszkárt, hogy indulhatunk? Mehetünk tovább.
Everything okay?
Yes, Kate Walker. I am waiting to
Na hát akkor menjünk.
Oscar, if you tell me one more time something's missing, I'll...
Everything is ready. Take your seat, Kate Walker. We are leaving.
Tuti?
Okay.
Jegy nem kéne? Most ez hol ment? Hát jó, akkor elindulhatunk, jó van. Na, Barokstadot megcsináltuk. Szerintem egy gyönyörű kis város volt, az emberek egy kicsit modortalanak voltak.
It is imperative that we comply with railroad and customs regulations, Kate Walker.
Oscar, don't you think we could drop the trifling details once and for all?
We need an exit visa to get beyond the wall, Kate Walker.
And you wouldn't know where I could get one of them from, would you?
There is usually some form of authority stationed at a guard post that is strategically positioned to issue such a visa.
Jaj, Oscar, komolyan. Hihetetlen vagy.
Oscar, don't you think we've wasted...
You neglected to find the clockwork winding mechanism for the train with sufficient haste, Kate Walker.
What nerve! And you refused to lend a helping hand. Help that could have been invaluable to me.
I agree, Kate Walker.
If you weren't so obsessed by procedure, we wouldn't have had a hitch.
I am not entirely convinced, Kate Walker.
Oscar, please, let's get in the train and leave, can we?
Yes, Kate Walker. Give me the visa.
Bizum.
Okay.
Yes, Kate.
Honnan szerezek neked bizumot? Csak erre el tudok menni? Be is lehet ide menni?
No point.
Zárva. Oscar bezáratta magát, hogy na így bemenjek, már aztán megverjem, hogy milyen francot akarsz már megint, Oscar, hogy szivatsz itt minket. Nem mehetnénk nyugodtan, nem, hogy ragaszkodni kell a szabályokhoz, mert az muszáj. Jaj, Oscar. Gyere, be tudok jönni. Akkor hát, hogy itt kell csinálni. Mennyi lépcső. Hát ez gyors volt. Miért kell mindenkinek most keresnie?
Oh, it's that you? What's going on?
Well, I finally got the mechanical train wound, and I hope it's going to take me to Hans Vorarlberg. I had to sort things out with a couple of weirdo sailors, and they probably ripped me off. But now I'm blocked behind this massive wall. You should see it, it's huge.
I'm not talking about that. I want to know what's going on with Dan.
What do you mean?
I bumped into him at Maggie's stew, and he said you'd argued.
That's a bit over the top. Things got a bit heated the last time we called, that's all. No need to go overboard.
I don't mean to be melodramatic, but he didn't seem in such great shape. He had his down in the dumps head on.
Like Dan has a down in the dumps head.
Well, yeah, when that shock of hair flops over his forehead, and his eyes mist up, and his eyebrows kind of crease together.
I'd never noticed. Maybe I did go a bit too far, but he's got such a goody two-shoes image of me that sometimes I just lose it. And this case is taking up a lot of headspace.
Na de csak magával törődik.
Well, you sure got mine. So, what's going down?
Like I said before, I'm kind of getting somewhere, but it's slow. This Hans Vorarlberg guy is getting more and more fascinating by the day.
Okay, well, anyway, it doesn't sound like you're bored. Not like back here in the office. Every day is boredom day. Just no fun without you. When are you coming back?
Shouldn't be long, I hope. Look, I've got to go. See you soon.
Well, call us again real soon. And be easier on Dan next time, huh?
I'll try.
Próbálom. Hát ennyien szívére vett, hogy egy kicsit lehordta a barátnője, hogy ne csak magával törődjön. Milyen férfi ez? És ebbe tudok menni? Látszik nem. Akkor menjünk el erre. Csű. De aztán magas gát tényleg. Jó napot! Ó. Észre hogy itt vagyok, vagy mi?
I haven't gone to... Look! Broken glasses.
Mióta én itt szétnézek, ne is törődj velem, kapitány. Beszéljünk vele akkor.
Good day to you, sir.
Captain Malatesta, Commander-in-Chief of the Bergstadt border post at your service, madam.
Micsoda, Malatesta?
My name is Kate Walker. I've been assigned by my company to find a man who is supposed to be living in Syberia.
What a peculiar mission. Taking so many risks for such a futile...
Captain, To my mind, the military zeal with which you insist on guarding this meaningless wall strikes me as equally futile.
I should be offended by your words, miss, but I forgive you, because you are young and unaware of the very real dangers lurking in store.
Nem még azt hiszem, hogy háború.
I need a visa to cross the wall and to continue my journey to the east. They told me that you are the only person in a position to issue such a visa.
Indeed, this responsibility is part of my duties. However, I am not currently issuing visas because nobody must venture beyond the wall.
And why not?
It's far too dangerous, in particular for a lady of your standing who is traveling unescorted.
Dangerous? What exactly do you mean, Captain?
The enemy, miss. The enemy. I've been observing them for several years through my telescope. There's one particular horseman stationed yonder. He's a scout from the invading enemy army, and he's been spying on us. So I have to be extremely vigilant. He knows that I know he's there, you understand? And as long as I keep my eye on him, he won't dare try anything.
Most lehet, hogy csak halucinál.
Please, take a look for yourself.
Don't mind me if...
Please, ma'am.
Hát akkor nézzünk be a távcsőbe. Ha lehet egyáltalán használnunk.
How strange. I can't see a Cossack horseman at all. There's just a dead tree in the middle of an empty plain. That poor captain must have really bad eyesight.
Ó, kapitány. Nem kell adni a szemegét, hogy jobban lásson. De gondolom, hogy ide kéne ez a por. Ha, vagy le kell itatni. Így, és akkor ezt majd odaadom neki. Mondja, hogy ígyunk már meg egyet.
Colonel, sir.
Captain.
But you have the air of a good...
You flatter me, miss. Unfortunately...
there's no justice. I sympathize with you, Captain. Let us forget our worries.
It would be my pleasure.
Come on. A little glass of...
Wine, miss?
Don't deny yourself, Captain. Just a little...
Well...
Csak nagy aztán két igya meg azt, amiben belentettük ezt a port. De szerintem ez ilyen altató lehet, nem? De az a... ennek is az a mozgás.
To your good health, Captain.
And to yours.
Magasabbra nem tudod húzni az orrodat?
It's been a long time since I've...
Isn't it? You wouldn't think it came from Barrackstadt. It is made from the Amazon forest Sauvignon grape.
Well, well, well. The university authorities...
You know, Captain, it is essential that I continue my...
Please, don't even think about it. As I've said, it's extreme.
Perhaps your Cossack horseman isn't quite what you thought. Perhaps it's just a dead tree twisted into a string.
So be it. I will make this concession.
Nem kell felvenni a szemelgét hozzá?
Incredible. How is this possible? By what strange magic? How could I have been so wrong for so long? The enemy was only a tree. I'm so ashamed.
It's not that bad, Captain. It's only human to make mistakes after all.
A tree. Nothing but a dead tree.
Pull yourself together, Captain. It's okay. And now I suppose there's nothing stopping you from issuing me...
Yes, of course. There is no more danger.
Captain, you should be delighted. From now on, you don't have to stay pinned to your watchtower. Travel can start up again normally.
You're right. I will sign you a visa to cross the wall front.
Na, kösz szépen. De úgy szerintem ezzel a porral lehet, hogy kitágítottuk a szemét, hogy jobban lásson.
And keep your eyes open.
Miss, If we could
Look,
keep this
kitálgott
between
a szemei.
ourselves, please. For the sake of my honor. You understand?
You have my promise.
Ha köztünk marad. Hát a kapitány akkor még majd megy tovább. Valamelyre. Na, itt van a vízumod, Oscar. Üljél bele. Örülsz neki?
Here is the visa. I hope.
Hát csavassa rendesen, csak így.
It is regulation.
Na, most már nincs több kifogásod. For the mechanical, departing from Barrockstad.
Have a good journey, Kate Walker.
So, can we go now?
Indeed, we are already very late, Kate Walker.
Hát, csak azért vagyunk késésben, mert itt noszogattál minket. Na, itt a jegy, aztán mehetünk tovább. A következő állomásra.
Here you go, Oscar.
Thank you, Kate Walker. Now, please return to your seat, Kate Walker.
Yes, Oscar. Immediately, Oscar.
Na, élvezzük az utat. De hogy a hajó az hogyan jött ki azután, hogy a gátat ott megcsináltam? Tehát kiérezték ki majd őket oda? Vagy ők mennek tovább, vagy mi? A konzolt ugye nem tudják irányítani. De az nem a mi problémánk. Oroszok megoldják. Elképesztőek ezek a szerkezetek. Viszlát, kapitány! Mekkora szobor ez? Mi robot? De Stalingrad. Na de én nem fogom folytatni akkor majd a következő részben, mert így is sok minden történt. Elkezdtünk a következő állomásra, ami még nem tudom mi. De elég bajoslatú. Úgyhogy én nem fogom folytatni, akinek tetszett a videó, azzal találkozunk a folytatásban. Addig sziasztok!